Alright, so let's go back. Now we can see the score. If I tap on it, we can see the timing, and it is real time changing after every 5 seconds. It will automatically change the scores and everything inside this widget, right? And if I go here, we can see the heading as well for that match. So I can see that match here, and it is coming directly from our Flutter app only. Hey, what's up everyone, I'm Nishmakan and welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video, we'll be showing how we can use the dynamic island feature in iPhones. So if you have an iPhone, or if you want to make an app or dynamic island feature in iPhone 14 Pro or in the latest iPhone 15, then this is the video for you. So in this video, we'll be using the Work Manager package to handle our API calls in the background and automatically change our dynamic island in real time using Flutter. So if you're interested in that, please watch this video till the end. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please do that, as it will really help the channel out as well. Just go to my channel and you can subscribe. I have a lot of interesting videos that you can watch, like a movie streaming application, a real-time Pokédex application that you can see, a home widget application for Android and iOS, email application, music recommendation, deep links. So there are a lot of videos that you can enjoy on my channel and much more videos to come. So please subscribe. With that all being said, let's dive in this video and learn more about the dynamic island. Awesome. So first things first, let's understand the whole process, what we'll be doing in this video. Timestamps are available in the video, so make sure to use that as well if you want to jump around to a specific topic, but make sure to watch this video till the end. So first, let's see the complete project idea and what we'll be making. So first, we will be doing our front-end part in Flutter. We'll design our app UI. After that, we will be integrating our API. So in this project, we will be using a football API. So football match we will use to show our dynamic island, and we will automatically update the scores of the team 1 and team 2 based on this API passed by Flutter to the dynamic island, right? So that we will see. Then we will integrate the dynamic island inside our Flutter application, and after that real-time integration we will do. So we have a lot of things to do. So first things first, let's see our UI. So I have made this widget that we will be making in this video. So this is a basic widget that we will be making in Flutter. You can see there is a team 1. Then we have team 2, we have names of that, there is one heading, subtitle and scores, and here we will show real-time time. So the time will automatically update here inside this container. Perfect. After that, we have our dynamic island. So as you can see, if it is not expanded, then we will show a minimal view of that. We will just show the score and logo. If it is expanded, then we will show this type of dynamic island. So accordingly, we will make the UI like that, right? So this is from the Flutter part, and this is inside the dynamic island that we will see. Perfect. So this is the UI that we will be making in this video, right? After that, let's see our API. So for the API, we'll be using the live score website. So there is a live score website where we can see all of the scores of the matches, right? So I searched for many APIs, but for this video, I thought that it would be better to use the live score internal API, what they are using. So let's go to the network tab here. Let's refresh. And as you can see, there is this country code in. So this is the API that the website is calling to fetch the data. So we'll be calling the same API. So let's try calling that. I'll copy it and let's go to the Postman and try with this API. So I'll hit send here and you can see that the API is returning a response, right? So what we'll be needing is we'll be needing the first match that we have. So here we have stages. This is the first match, group A. So we'll pass accordingly. We'll need the first match. Then inside the events, you can see that we have some MD, media, but the important thing for us is this TR1 and TR2, that is the result of the team 1 and team 2 4-3, and we need these information: team 1 name, team 1 image, and team 1 short form code, right? So this information and the score, these we will be only needing, so we will make our Flutter model accordingly. So now we have talked about the API as well, what we'll be using in this video. Let's go to our Flutter project and let's make this application. All right. So first things first, I have already made a project here and it is empty right now. So we don't have anything, just this boilerplate code we have. So I'll remove that. Let's remove this. Right now what we'll be having is I'll create one scoreboard page. So there will be one scoreboard page and let's create that now. So inside this lib, let's create a folder views, and here let's create one folder for scoreboard. And here let's create a Dart file, scoreboard page. Let's import material. Let's create a stateful class, scoreboard page. Let's create a scaffold with the body, center, child. Now here widget we will add. So let me open up Figma. Yeah. So this particular widget we will be making. So here let me arrange it inside this page. Yeah, and let's close that. Perfect. So now inside center we'll be having widget for this card. So let's make that. Here inside the scoreboard I will create one folder widgets. And here let's create a Dart file for this widget. Let's import material. Let's create a stateless class, scoreboard widget. And now this scoreboard widget I will just pass center inside this one. That's it. Perfect. So this is done. Now inside lib, let's go create one models folder, and inside this folder let's go and create our model. So this will be our score model, and let's create that. And here let's go to our Postman, and whatever data we need we'll just add that. So every score that we have, every team score, so let's make it as team score, and yeah, team score. So final string or final team and final string score. So we'll be having one model for team, and then we will be having one string as well for the score, right? So let's create, that's it. Let me add here constructor. Let's make it as this. and this one also as required. Perfect. After that, let's create another model for our team. Here, team and final string, right. So we'll be having our name, we will be having our ID, so let's store that as well, it can be helpful. After that, we have our image, so final string image, and then we have our final string abbreviation for the short form of the name. Okay, final. Yeah. Now let's create constructor. Let's add required for all these. Perfect. Now inside the team score, I'll just import the team, and let's create our factory from JSON for this team score, because we will be needing that. So it will accept map string dynamic JSON, and this will return team score. After that, we will be having team dot from JSON, and we will pass JSON, right. So here what we will be having is t1 0. Alright, let's make it like team 1 and team 2, both the team. We will add inside one model only. Yeah, team 1, and let's create a team 2 as well. For the team 2. So basically this will be our team 1 0, and same thing we'll do for our team 2 as well. So I'll create one comma, let's format the code. This will be our team 2. Alright. After that, the score is nothing but our JSON. Let's see. So the score that we have, so we'll be having scores for, okay. So let's do one thing, team response, let me name it. Yeah. Team response. And the score also we will be adding inside the team only. So every team will have a score as well. Makes sense. Okay, now let's go and create a factory team.from JSON here as well, which will have a map JSON, and based on that team it will return. So whatever we have here, let's just pass that JSON name, JSON ID, JSON and image. We need to make it in this form. So image we have till that part. Yeah. So let's copy that, and this will come from there. Image complete path, After that, JSON, let's close this one, don't save, let's close this one. For abbreviation ABR, correct. And there we go, we'll be having one JSON and we'll be getting one score. Alright, let me change the name. Perfect. Then in the team response, let's copy that, right, so team 1, team 2, there will be no scores. Okay, now JSON, and as you can see, we have to pass the score as well. So JSON tr1 and JSON tr2. Based on that, we will pass. Perfect, makes sense. So this is done. Now in the main.dart, let's just import our scoreboard page. Now in the widgets, it will accept one scoreboard or team response, and based on that widget we will render. So here we will show this widget. So basically it will be a container, and width we will pass, let's create a media query here. So mdof dot size, and let's create a size only, size dot width, or we can use double dot infinity as well. You don't have to use that, double dot infinity. And for this container, add a margin of edge insects and symmetric horizontal 16. Let's use that. Width we will pass. After that, let's pass the height. So height we will not pass, we will only pass child, and based on that it will automatically change. Makes sense. After that, we will pass the box decoration, we will pass the color, and the color will be this color, let's see, this one, 0xff, paste the code. We will be having some border radius, circular, and you can see that I have passed 22. Anything we can pass, that will work. So we have our box ready now. After the box, let's create a child, and inside that we'll use stack children. First, this image we can show here, right? So I will just go and export this image. Yeah, so let's go in the project, and here inside let's create a new folder for assets. Let's create a new folder, images, and let's paste it as bg.png. Yeah, now what we'll do is image.asset, assets, images, and bg.png, right? And let's see here, assets, bg.png, you can see we'll just add that. One thing we'll do is this, and second what we will do is we will make this. So you can see here also I have made it like card, column, row, and then inside that row we'll be having one column, another column. So likewise only we will make here as well, right? So first thing will be our column children, and inside that column there will be one more column for these two, or better, let's not make another column. We can, but there's no need. Let's create the text of the heading, right? So let's create that as well. So final string heading and subheading for these two, subheading and heading. And yeah, let's also create a date time, not create final. Let's create an object simply like that, and it will be representing as this date time get date time dot now. So we can just call the date time and get the date time for that period. Perfect. Let's add the heading and the subheading as well. JSON. Now let's go to the Postman. The heading will be, okay, actually it's inside events, and events from it is not directly T1. So let me just add that events 0, and let's copy that and paste this here as well. So events 0, and based on that we have. Perfect. So here we have our comp n. So let's use that comp n for our heading, and comp d let's use for our subheading. So JSON comp d. Perfect. Now what's the issue? It's asking for team response here. So for now let's pass null only. Let's go inside, and here we'll pass here the team response and dot heading. Then we have our subheading, as you can see, heading, subheading. After that we will be having our row, and after the row there will be column for 3 columns. So let's create 3 columns. Children. Now there will be this column, and now we can show image.network and team response dot team1 dot image. Let me put it in here as well, and this will be from team2. And likewise we will be having one text widget for our team name. Yeah, perfect. So both sides are done. Let's make this row as main axis evenly. Main axis dot size, main axis alignment space evenly, and the center column that will have will basically represent the text. Here we will be showing as team response team1 dot score, and after that team2 score, right? So team1 and team2 score, and after that let's make a container of width, height let's not pass, and decoration, box decoration, border radius circular, so border radius we can pass 48 here. I have passed. Let's pass the border as border.all. Let's pass colors.black, and so we can pass width as 1, and it is colors.white actually. So yeah, we'll see later on how this will work, and obviously we will change whatever it's not working properly. But for now, like dummy layout I am just making. So this is done, this is done, this is done. Yeah. And this scoreboard page. Yeah. This also we don't need. We need the T1, we need the T2, else no need. So yeah, for now this will work just fine. We are passing, okay. Let's go inside the widget. You can see team response we are passing, and accordingly we are showing. So let me make this little bit smaller, and now let's open up our iOS simulator. Alright, so you can see that the app is installed, and I've opened the iPhone as well, and we have some errors here, so let's see that. Right, so here we have the issue inside assets are not here, so let's just add in pubspec.yaml, and here let's just add the assets. Now the assets are added inside images, so we'll add the same path. Assets, images, perfect. Pub-get I will run, and then let's just hot restart. So yeah, that issue is resolved. Other than that, we can see that this image we cannot get, these images we are not able to get, and there is this error. So let's do one thing, because we are not passing a height here, so I will pass a height dot size dot height, and let's pass 0.35. Yup, something like that will work. Okay, then we have an error here because of the images we are getting error. So let's go here inside the row. Yeah, so it is coming as asset. Let's change it to asset. Great. This is asset. This is also asset. And perfect. So now errors are gone. So here the problem is that you can see it's not coming perfectly, the layout. So what I will do, is for the column that we are having. So basically this column, I will use the main axis as minimum. Right. Let's remove expanded from here and here and here as well. And let's go and this row make, now this column that we have, let's make the main axis as minimum. Let's make this in center. Perfect. After that, what we have to do is After making it centered, let's add some styling. Alright, so something like that will work. I have added a box shadow as well. So some shadow I have added, and the background color I have added as red 400. So that will work perfect. So our widget for the app is ready, our model is ready, and based on that UI will automatically change. Let's integrate our API as well. So let's go to our page here, and I'll just create in the init state. Let's just create our model. So this is our team response model. So team response, let's create something like that, and here what I'll do is center, and if it is equals to null, we'll simply use a circular indicator to show that it is still scrolling. Right, I'll take this out from here and I'll use the team response instead. Perfect. So now you can see that we have a loader, and yeah, perfect. Here we'll call our API. So let's add our API. I'll add simply a HTTP package, nothing fancy. Let's hit pub get now, and yeah, let's call the API. So get HTTP URI dot parse. Here link we'll add for the API. We will not await dot then. We'll get the response back. Response dot body JSON decode. Right, and based on that we will convert our team response. So team response equals to team response dot from JSON, and that will work just fine. Now the API will be called like not just in the init state, but we need to update the UI every 5 seconds, for instance, right? So how we can do that? So let's create a timer and make it periodic, so that periodically it will call, right? And it will return a timer as well. So let's create that, and timer. Let me make it as late. All right, and here we'll add our API. So in the init state, every, let's say 5 seconds, our API will be called and it will update. Perfect. And let's add a set state. Great. And in the dispose, we'll also add timer dot cancel. Perfect. So now let me show you the API. Now let's click send, and you can see that the API is working perfectly fine here. So let's go back to our app. We can see how we can parse it. So we'll be getting this body. We can pass stages. We can use the first match that we have, and then it will automatically parse based on the from JSON that we have added, right? So everything will work just fine then. So team response we will get. Perfect. So let's just pass our URL as well here. So let me call and paste the API, right? Alright, so I've added that. Let's run that. It will load and it will automatically call the API, and then the data will come from there. So let's open the browser. So the data 2 and 3 is matching perfectly with the API, as well as with the team names are matching as well. Perfect. But the images, let's change that also, right? European League as well, so that is also working fine. All right, now let's go and pass the images. The link that we have here is wrong, so let's just use that, right? So what we will be getting is something like enet this, and in front we'll add medium and static. So now let's just go to our scoreboard widget, and instead of using image.asset, let's pass network. Okay, here we have to pass asset only. This one will be team 1 and bottom one will be team 2. All right, there we go. Perfect. And here let's pass the height same as the height of our card. So I'll create a final card height and I'll pass that there, and this card height we'll use here, as well as for the image height, and fit let's use cover so that it will cover it perfectly. Yeah, working just fine. So this is working great. Now what we want to do, the main focus of this video is not building this card, but if I go back, so now you can see that the API is calling every 5 seconds. Okay, so to check that, let's just print API response returned. Let's just print that and let's just hot restart. So it will load, and after 5 seconds it will call that API. So you can see API response returned, and again it will call our API and it will rebuild the UI, and it will change the values if it is changed in the live match as well. That is here. If the values are changed in the API of the live score website of this particular match, then it will automatically change in our app as well. But this is not what we wanted. We want that if we close this, and it should automatically show in the dynamic island here. So let's focus on that part now, right? So let's go inside Arc browser and go to pubdev, and there is a package live activities that we will be using in this video. So let's just add that. I'll go in pubspec.yaml and I'll just paste that package, hit pubget, and that will add the package. Now we have to do some things before making the app. So first thing, you can see that native side, what we have to do. Furthermore, the app only supports, so the dynamic island that we have has to be on iOS 16.1 greater than that. Okay, so if we go in our iPhone, you can see that in the settings, let's go in general and about. So general and about, you can see the iOS version that we are using right now is 16.4. That means we can use the dynamic island and this package. If it is lower than that, then we won't be able to use this package, because dynamic island only supports iOS 16.1 greater than that, and iPhone 14 Pro or the latest iPhone 15 that is launched recently. Perfect. So let's open up our Xcode. Inside open the iOS runner Xcode workspace. So let's open that. Here let me go to, we have our Android and iOS folder. So let's open in Finder. Now iOS, and here we go, Xcode workspace. Okay, so once it is open, what we have to do is that go to File, New, and make one target for the widget extension. So let's make that. Go to File, New, Target, and here we will make our widget extension. So you can scroll down and there we go, widget extension. Click on that, next, and pass a product name. So let's create our scoreboard widget. Let's create that, and I will hit enter. All right, so after doing that, let's go to the runner and add push notifications, as you can see here. So we have to enable push notification capabilities. So let's go to the signing and capabilities, and here for the runner, add capability for push notifications. Great, so it is added. After that, we have to go to the info.plist file and add these lines for both runner and widget extension. So let's go here, iOS, we have our widget extension and we have our info.plist for runner. So let's go in runner, info.plist, and let's add these lines, and let's go to our widget extension next, info.plist, and after that let's just add these lines. Perfect. Now what we have to do is go to the app group, and for runner and widget extension make an app group as well. So let's go in runner, capability, and let's create app group. Yeah, let's select this, hit refresh. All right, now let's create one. So group, click on that, and for the widget extension as well, group we need to add. So in the capability, let's click that, app group, team we need select, and same app group we need to click here as well, right? So both places this step is done. After that, what we can do is, so that is done in the Xcode part, whatever we have to do. After that, let's go in the Flutter and initialize that. So inside the Android Studio, let's close this, and here inside our scoreboard page, let's just add the package, and here let's initialize the object live activities, and here inside the init state we will initialize it. Here add the group ID that you have made. So inside the Xcode, let's go group ID. I will copy that. All right, perfect. Once we have that, it will automatically initialize our app. Perfect. Next part, what we have to do, we have to make the activity. So dynamic activity we will make with that. So let's go down here, and we need to first check if it is initialized or not. If it is not initialized, we will make an activity. Otherwise, we will update an activity, right? Multiple activities we cannot make. So we will update the activity with the activity ID that we will pass. Awesome. So this create activity will give us an activity ID. So activity ID, let's get that. and activity ID not is equals to null, then we'll call that, otherwise we'll call this. Now this activity ID will be a nullable string, and let's call await here so that it will await. Let's create a null check. Perfect. Now we have to make one activity. So inside your extension in the Xcode, we will go and this extension. Alright, so let me just close that. Here you can see that we have activity attributes. Let's stop the app and run. Alright, so we can see here. So there we go. Now you can see we have L in the beginning for the leading. So you can see that the compact leading that we have, compact, trailing and minimal. So this compact leading is L, the compact trailing T, and if I expand it, you can see that this is the expanded region. The leading part is the leading text. The trailing part is the trailing here text you can see. And the bottom region, we can see the bottom text that we have, right? And if I close the dynamic island, open up the notification, you can also see that there is a notification. I can allow it and I am able to see heading. So as we can see the heading here, right? So the dynamic island is working perfectly fine, and we made that with our Flutter application. Let me rerun the app once again. So what I'll do is I'll delete the app now. Delete app. You can see the dynamic island is removed as well. Now let's rerun the app once. Alright, so it's loading and notification access, we'll allow it, and then I'm able to see the activity ID as well. Let's close this and we are able to see LT in the dynamic island as well as in the notification heading we can see, right? If I close the phone as well, inside the home or lock screen, still we can see the heading that we added inside our Xcode, right? Heading text, so that we can see. Perfect. Now only thing is that what we'll do is let's go inside our browser. Now you can see that we can pass the data here like this, right? So let me just copy this line and paste it here. We'll create heading and pass the heading here. Alright, so this heading now let's create. Let's stop the app and rerun it. Alright, so let's open up the notifications and you can see now that we are able to see the heading from our Flutter application. So let me open the app. This is the heading and the notification also same we can see, right? So let's change this dynamic island now. Let's go to the Xcode. And here instead of this compact leading, what we want is a H stacks. So let's create one edge stack. Basically edge stack is a row. So we need a row, and here we need to pass the image basically. So here let me close this. Here we need one image, or basically image and the text. So for the image, what we can do is we can go and let's go in the arc live activities, and here if you scroll down we have an option for image to pass. So you can see this live activity from URL. So we'll use that and we will pass the URL here. All right. So here inside the team response, the team to JSON, the image that we have, what I will do is I will return it like this, and this image will come here, and let's import this. So this will be a live activity image from URL that we will be returning. Now based on these key that we have, we can access, right? So first what I will do is I will format it and take out all of these keys. So I'll copy them and I'll go to the Xcode and I'll simply going to go over here and going to paste it. Great. Now for this part, the notification, what I will show, what I'm thinking is that we can append the heading and subheading, right? Awesome. Then for the dynamic island, what we can do is for the compact leading, let's take the T1 name, and so let's go here and let's go. Alright, so let's go back. Now we can see the score. If I tap on it, we can see the timing, and it is real time. It is changing after every 5 seconds. It will automatically change the scores and everything inside this widget, right? And if I go here, we can see the heading as well for that match. So I can see that match here, and it is coming directly from our Flutter app only. So this is the dynamic island that I wanted to show you in this video.